Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching Thursday Nights with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Spoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and want to take this opportunity to thank some sponsors of our show tonight. Want to thank Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty, Gibson Animal Clinic, Coastal Pines Technical College, Prime South Bank, and Robbie Robertson Ford of Waycross. And we appreciate all of our sponsors here allowing us to do this Thursday night show. On Wednesday night, we've got a special edition tonight, and joining us now is a head coach of the McIntosh County Academy Buccaneers, Coach Bradley Warren. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. How are you guys?
We're doing great, Coach. We appreciate you joining us here on this big Wednesday night show here with Thanksgiving tomorrow night. We kind of bumped it up, but Coach, you guys have had a great season, made it into the first round of the playoffs, going into the playoffs as a 2 seed, going to get to host Clinch County Friday night, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. But let's go back, Coach, to the beginning of the season. You guys have had a great season, sitting there at 7-3 on the year. You're only 3 losses, 2 to 6A teams that are in the playoffs, and 1 to Metter, who's the number 1 overall seed for single A. So you guys have had a great year, but going back to July and August, Coach, did you think we were going to get to this point, that we were getting ready to start the playoffs?
Oh, man, I tell you what, there was a lot of us, including myself, that fought hard to get it to here, including Dr. Robin Hines, at GHSA. So, yeah, I mean, I for a little while I was worried and kicking and screaming about getting to play.
Yeah, but like I said, and Coach Hines had the foresight and put us in a great position, and I think we definitely figured out now that he chose the right path, and we are in a good situation. Looks like we're going to get this thing out, under our belt. But again, Coach, you guys have had a great season. Dropped the first 2 games, but listen, you lost to Glenn Academy, who's the number 1 seed in 6A, and then you lost to Brunswick, who's the number 3 seed in 6A. And then you guys got on a roll, run into Metter and dropped that one. But every other game, Coach, you guys stepped on the field has been a victory. Talk a little bit about some of the guys that have helped you put all those W's in the column.
Well, the schedule's changed for a lot of people, and we were supposed to play Glenn Academy in a scrimmage, and they're the 6A region champs over here. And then we're going to play Brunswick in the real game. So we ended up playing both of those teams first 2 weeks of the season at Glenn, 2 weeks in a row at Glenn Stadium.
Right.
They paid us financially for it, which helped clear up a lot of fall billing. And it was we did some good things in those games. In the Glenn game, we gave up only 2 defensive scores, and really came away feeling good in some areas about some things that we did, especially against, a big opponent like that. And then the other game you mentioned was Metter. We were up on Metter 7-6 without Trenton Johnson and a couple other players at the half, and then ended up getting beat 27-7 through 2 pick sixes in that ball game as well. So we feel like we're just a couple of plays away from being in all 3 of those ball games pretty close.
Yeah, and Coach, like I said, every other time you guys have stepped on the field, you guys have put victories. 7-3 on the season is an excellent season. And you mentioned Trenton Johnson; he's your big running back, your big power running back. He's done a lot of good things for you guys this year. But Lloyd, Proctor, and Lawton, those are some of the other guys. But just talk about some of those guys that have got you guys to this point.
Well, we've got 10 seniors right now, and the leadership from the senior class has been very good. We have a goal up on the goal board not to give up more than 3 scores against our defense. And defense is led by Miles Wood. He calls every shot. Middle linebackers committed to play at Washington and Lee. Then on one edge, you have Quan Proctor, he comes off the ball super quick. Then, one of the up-and-coming kids didn't play a lot last year. That's been a pleasant surprise this year. Javon Thomas has been inside. He's a tall, lanky kid that has a lot of speed. He's played well. Then, flanking Miles are 2 younger 10th grade linebackers, Tyrese Campbell and DeAndre Bacon. So we've got some guys that are playing really well. And then you can't forget Big Will Jones on the front, man. He's a 220-pound, 6'1" fullback defensive lineman. We play with a lot of speed on defense. So those guys are over there. And then, everybody knows that Trenton Johnson's going to get his fair share of carries in the ball game. He's a really been a team captain, the heart and soul he's the heartbeat of us a lot of times. And then I felt really good about our wingback play recently. We put a lot of pressure on people with the wings on the perimeter and the counter game. So that, I think one time this year we rushed for like 477 in a ball game. That's hard to do on air.
Yeah. definitely. And like I said, that's been your guys' bread and butter is being able to run that ball really against whoever you guys play. It doesn't matter. Y'all been successful with doing that. Well, Coach, that's got us to season 3 playoffs starting this Friday night. It's really a weird situation. We had Coach Tyson on. We're going to talk to him a little bit later in the show, but this could not be really a worse draw for either one of you guys, because I'm sure you guys, as being a 2 seed, you were hoping to get a lot easier draw. And here, Clinch is a 3 seed, but ranked in the top 10 in the state, and they've got to go on the road to play a solid team like yourself. So it's going to be a tough draw for the first night, but you guys are going to have to find a way to try to get a win on Friday night. So talk a little bit about what you're going to see when the Panthers show up over at the Ship on Friday night.
Well, they're a classic storied program in South Georgia. They've won a few state championships recently. They have a culture of winning. So when they come in, we know it's going to be a fight. They're big, man. They've got some great size this year. They've got the Moorhead kid back, who's starting to play well again. I feel like earlier in the year they probably had some injury bugs, COVID, whatever you want to call it. They weren't clicking on all cylinders, but they've gotten better each week as you watch them on film. So we've had a great week of practice. It's been intense. We know that we've probably got a speed advantage. They've got a little bit of a size advantage. So it ought to be an interesting matchup, man. We're going to have to play tough. They've got a good football team. Right.
And of course they're like you guys. They want to line up and run that football, right down your throat. And I'm assuming that's goal one, is to stop that running game.
Yeah, it may be a fast game. We may be able to go eat dinner in Brunswick after the ball game, because you can't count 10 passes between us.
Exactly. Yeah, there'll be a lot of turn right and turn left and hand the ball off and let those big running backs do their thing. So it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, and I think that's where the game's going to be won. Whoever can rush the ball best is definitely going to come out the winner. But a game that's probably going to be a battle in the trenches as well.
It is. We're a 3-3 stack team, and we play a lot of speed on the field. Just philosophically, we believe speed kills. They've got good speed, but they have some really big guys that eat up a lot of space and are tough physically. So it's kind of been an interesting matchup all week on where we've placed kids in the scout teams and things like that. So they're about as big a team as we faced.
Yeah, size-wise, they definitely are. And like you said, once Tyler Moorhead got back into the mix, and really when he first came back, he was a little bit mainly playing just a little bit on defense, but now they've got him in that all-important offensive mix as well. So you're getting a double dose of number one in Moorhead.
Yeah, I run an older type offense, a wing T type offense, and they're in the single wing. There's really no traditional quarterback on the field. They've got a fullback, tailback type personnel on the field. Even one of their tight ends is an extension of a tackle and an eligible number. So they present some problems. You can't line up to them in a traditional way unless your corners play like outside linebackers. So, it's definitely an interesting matchup. I've always wanted to coach against the single wing. I study old football tactics and things like that as a hobby, and I've always heard a lot about the single wing. Well, I'm going to get to face it Friday night.
Exactly. Well, Coach, finish this sentence. The Buccaneers will be successful and win the game if
we make Clinch punt.
That'll definitely do it. If you make them punt every time they have the ball, that's definitely a winning formula there. So, but like I said, Coach, should be a great atmosphere there in the Ship. I know you guys been a while since you guys have actually been able to host a playoff game. So I know it's going to be a great atmosphere. We've kind of got this as our pseudo game of the week. Of course, going into the playoffs, we don't really look at a game of the week, but if I could be at one playoff game in the 912 area code, this would definitely be the one to be at, because I think it's going to be a one heck of a high school football game.
Yeah, if you're a high school football fan, I feel like we're game of the week in single A. It's a big matchup, and heck, man, I've got a hungry team, that wants to play, wants to be there to show that we belong in the top 10. And here we draw a first round, a traditional storied clinch program. In my first stint here back in the early 2000s, we played clinch twice in one season in 2000 and then again in 01. So I know what kind of program they bring to the table. I can go back through Cecil Barber, and their coaching staff. So I've kept up with them pretty well, and they do some pretty good things. They're well coached, they work hard, and we're going to have to earn this one.
Yeah, going to be a great game. Well, Coach, good luck. Hopefully, we'll check in with you later on in the season. We'll be talking about a round 3, maybe even a semifinal opponent there for the Buccaneers. You go back just a few years. I know it was before you took back over the reins there, but this was a huge game in Clinch County where McIntosh actually beat Clinch for an opportunity to go to the Dome to play for a championship. So a lot of history between these two programs, and I guarantee you Friday night's going to be another one to put down in the record books as an awesome game to be involved in.
Yeah, you're right, man. It is. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Well, Coach, best of luck to you. Appreciate you joining us here on 912 Sports on Thursday nights, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Thanks for the opportunity. Have a good evening.
Appreciate it. Go Buccaneers.
Go Bucks.
All right, that's Coach Bradley Warren, head coach of the McIntosh County Academy Buccaneers, as they get set to take on the Clinch County Panthers this Friday night in round 1 of the state playoffs in Single A. And we'll be right back here after these messages